who's got as much first-team experience as he has. He's not been able to influence the game for Liverpool at all, really, Cameron Brannigan.
No, he hasn't, but I think he would have benefited from having someone alongside him up there. Like I said in the first half, not entirely sure what their tactics were. That's a good little bit of skill. But Brannigan's not been able to get into the game whatsoever. He's imposing when you're coming up against those three centre-halves, though. So quick, so powerful, all of them good in the air, attack balls well from the wide areas. Been difficult for, you know, two centre-forwards up there, so just to have one. It's been a tough evening for him.
Well, it was going to be Ruben Sammet. We saw the number 14, but that's Harvey St Clair. See what happens from this free kick, because that might change things. Wilson looking for his second. Seen his quality from this sort of distance once tonight. Oh, and that was a good strike as well. And Brad Collins has finally got some mud on his gloves.
Yeah, another good strike from Wilson. That's one straight at Collins, just above him. Gets two firm hands on it, pushing it over.
Struck firmly, but not far enough in the corner. It's given Liverpool their first corner of the game. It was not a good clearance from Mount. Just bounced off his shoulder. Great header, though, from Joseph Colley. And now Wakefield can stretch his legs if he can keep it in. He has. Lovely drop of the shoulder as well. Can he pick the pass? He's found Mount. Good numbers forward here for Chelsea. Mount away from one. De Silva and Ugbo waiting. Here's Jay De Silva and Mason Mount. It's Mount! Oh, that would have been an astonishing goal. It's a shame that Grabara prevented it from happening. How about that from Mason Mount?
Brilliant, great composure at the end of it as well. Just the shape to shoot and put a defender on his backside. But brilliant from Wakefield. Initially from the right-hand side. This is great from Jay De Silva. And that little bit of skill is excellent from Mount, and the keeper redeems himself somewhat with a good save down to his left.
Goal kick.
It's been 3, 4, even maybe 5 really good opportunities in the second half, along with the goal, so really could have been a convincing scoreline.
Really like the look of Mason Mount. You think about the midfielders of his ilk that Chelsea have had in their academy sides in the last few years. He liked to run with the ball and tease defenders, the likes of Casey Palmer and Charlie Musonda. Maybe Mount could be that man this season. End of Trevor Chaloba's night. And it is Harvey St Clair who comes on. Far from a like-for-like swap. St Clair, who was a scorer with great frequency for the under-18s last season. Tamori.
Yeah, I think Dujon Sterling's just maybe dropped back into a back three with Wakefield on.
The substitute, quite the pace of Maguire before him. Well, as we saw last season, if you're playing catch-up, if you don't make the right start to the season, it can be difficult to gain ground on the teams at the top. So 4 points from 2 games will represent a good start for Chelsea. Manchester City, by the way, have played twice and won both their matches, but they were against Derby and Arsenal, the 2 promoted teams, so you would really expect that to be the case. Scott. Here's Harvey St Clair. Here's Charlie Wakefield now. I'd like some help. Sterling now offering. Well, there was that brief scare, that brief switch off that allowed Liverpool to score straight from kickoff after Chelsea's opener, but the level of control that the Blues have had by and large throughout this game has been as surprising as it's been impressive, I'd say.
Absolutely, no, it's been a pretty complete performance and not been immaculate for the whole 90 minutes. I'm sure AD will want them to polish their game in certain areas, but across the piece they've been such good value really for a victory tonight. But the majority of the ball for most of the evening, and they've had the best chances by a mile. Liverpool, just that one shot that flew into the corner. Other than that, not really seen them as an attacking force, so it's been pretty convincing all evening from Chelsea.
And that's catching practice for Collins from Hearts Cross. Been involved in the matchday squads of late. Jamal Blackman, who has been the #3 goalkeeper for the last few years, he's out at Wycombe Wanderers. Mitchell Beanie under Dermot Drummy at Crawley. Seconds of the 90 minutes left. Ogbo. He's done well to win it there. Unlucky that he came up against Maguire second time round. It might be a youthful bunch playing in Premier League 2 for Chelsea this season, but they are more than capable of mixing it with the more experienced teams they'll come up against. Sterling happy to keep it in the corner. Oh, decision's gone Liverpool's way. Or has it? That's what the linesman was flagging. Little shove in the back on Sterling after that as well.
I think there was 3 fouls on Sterling before the referee decided to give a free kick to Liverpool. Very strange one. You could hear the linesman saying, still nothing, still nothing. And that's a foul.
That's a foul. And that's not great from Hart either, the substitute. Sterling not reacting. He knows that his team have won the game. It's not a surprising number, but 4 extra minutes we get. Looking not to give away a free kick of his own, but then Scott does. Well, 3-1 is about a fair reflection, I think, of how the play's gone. Liverpool looking for another goal back late on here, though. Adam Phillips with the free kick. Nice shape on it, good header, though, to get it away by Colley. Here's Wakefield. Oh, and Sinclair just couldn't quite get it out of the way of the posse of defenders who were in front of him in the goal.
Yeah, real shame for him because it was perfect from Charlie Wakefield. Beautiful ball. His touch just got away from him a little bit, Sinclair.
Wakefield again. Ogbo. It's 4. And Ike Ogbo does get his goal right at the end, and that is the cherry on top of the cake for Chelsea.
I'll be delighted with that, and that's great wide play from Charlie Wakefield. Just stands up the ball at the far post, and that's at this stage of the game, that's very difficult. The centre forward just plucks it out of the sky, really composed, and drills home his finish.
Real impact from Charlie Wakefield since his arrival. Brilliant take from Ike Ogbo. Turn, shot, past Grapara. 4-1, thank you and good night.
He's done a lot of unselfish running tonight. He'd be really tired, he'd be feeling it, and to produce a little touch like that on the far post, just drag it out of the sky. That's magnificent play, that is, and a great finish as well.
Well, he's following in the footsteps of prolific goal scorer Ike Ugbo. He would have been pleased his team were going to win the game, but he would have been disappointed had he not got his name onto the score sheet. He's done that now, and Liverpool are well beaten. Looks like it's going to be back-to-back 4-1 defeats for Liverpool. They always say the result's not the most important thing at this level of football, but you don't want to be conceding 4 goals in every game.
No, it's pretty worrying, really, isn't it? And the level of the performance tonight as well. I'm not really too sure what style of play they've been trying to adopt tonight. They've not sat in and made it difficult for Chelsea, and they've not pressed high. They've not created anything going forward. They're not attacked with pace. So, yeah, pretty comfortable all evening for Chelsea. They've been by far the better side. I was concerned at one stage that they weren't going to get the goals, but in the second half it could have been anything, really.
It might still be 5. Here's St Clair, stumbled slightly. Mason Mount. Momentum's been lost a little bit. St Clair again. Guevara got that one. Probably be the last meaningful act of the match. Woodburn. Across the line, thought that might be the final whistle for a second, but we'll play on for a little while longer. Referee not happy with something that was said. The first win of the season in Premier League 2 for Chelsea, and a mighty impressive one at that. All the goals in the second half for Adi Vivash's team. Liverpool well beaten in the end. They were second best throughout, but it was only after the restart that Chelsea asserted their dominance. Ike Ugbo crowning it late on for the Blues. They took the lead just after the hour. That only lasted a minute, and then Chelsea pulled away. They could even afford to miss a penalty too. 4 points from 2 games represents a good start in Premier League 2 for Chelsea, who've beaten Liverpool here at Aldershot by 4 goals to 1.